hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. Every day I wake up and I hope...
Hello everyone, Snom here, and today, to celebrate the release of DC's newest film, Black Adam, as well as my 3-year anniversary on Instagram, I have for you a LEGO Black Adam set. My relationship with this movie is bizarre, whereas at first I wasn't super excited. But that all changed in the summer of 2022, when not only did I make a deal with one particular Instagrammer named PuggerBuild, who you should follow by the way, but I also devoted my life to becoming the #1 Adam Smasher fan. And since then, it's all gone downhill. Anyways, with a set featuring 5 figures depicting Black Adam and the Justice Society, as well as many unique builds, each with their own play features, this set is definitely one of my more ambitious ones. And I hope you all enjoy it as much as I do. Also, please subscribe, please, because numbers make brain go serotonin. Anyways, starting off with the figures, we have Black Adam. Now, this one was not designed by me, not entirely at least. It was designed by the talented PuggerBuild. This figure has new prints from head to toe, with the prints for the torso, hip, legs, and arms being designed by Pugger. The head was also designed by him, but I made some slight changes. I added lightning bolts to his face, as I felt that was more unique. Also, since he's bald, I couldn't do an alt face, but I want you to know there was a rock eyebrow face in there. For his accessory, I gave him a lightning bolt. Next up is Dr. Fate, one of the more popular characters of this movie, and one of the cooler costumes in comic book media. This figure has new torso, hips, legs, dual molded arms and legs to depict his really cool costume, and a new helmet to complete the look. Removing the helmet, you can see this figure as a neutral face, showing Pierce Brosnan's likeness, which I'm personally very proud of, as well as a face that's, you could say scared, but I like to think of it as... Next up is Hawkman, a figure who is surprisingly fun to design. It has new prints from head to toe, and the torso is metallic silver. It has a ton of scratch marks to show wear and tear. It includes the classic Hawkman helmet, as I felt that was appropriate. Overall, this is a design I'm very proud of, featuring a lot of shading and details that you wouldn't really see on an average LEGO figure. Removing the helmet, we can see the face and hairpiece, showing a likeness to Aldis Hodge. He also has an angry face and some accessories, being a shield, once more designed by the talented PuggerBuild, and a mace. Hawkman also comes with his iconic wings. Next up, we have the one who started it all, Adam Smasher. This is the longest I've ever spent on a detail. With new prints from head to toe, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this one as much as I do. This figure has a mesh pattern to try and get the details on the costume right, as well as dual molded legs, some printing on the arms, and a very detailed mask, which even has a little bit of lens shine to it, which is very hard to see. Removing the mask, we have Noah Centineo. Noah has the Ninjago movie chair hairpiece and a bit of an angry expression, and for his alt face, he's a bit more of a smirker. Last but not least, we have Cyclone, who was played by a trans actor. This figure features new prints from head to toe. The torso has a chrome-based color shading. I don't know what the term is called, can you tell? Represented by the green and blue shading. This figure also has a waist cape, 2 faces, a neutral one, which has her eye makeup included, as well as an angry expression. Her accessory is a little wisp, which is meant to show her powers. That being said, let's move on to the builds. Starting the builds off, we have Cyclone's Wind Tornado. This build is very similar to the Sandman's build for his sand shit in the Bugle. I can't say that. This build is very similar to Sandman's sand build in the Bugle, as I felt it worked for her. However, I switched out a lot of the details. The tan, I turned to many different shades of green to represent her wind powers, and I think it works very well. Next, we have the cage that Black Adam is thrown into in the trailer, which continues LEGO's trend of making prisons as a way to stop their overpowered superheroes, or a terrorist. The cage is built up on a hexagonal plate and has many fine details. There's space for a figure to stand or pose on the inside. The figure can be surrounded by the pipe builds, which is what Cyclone throws at Black Adam to imprison him. The pipes may also be adjusted so Black Adam can break out or be put back into place. Taking a huge step in size, we have Adam Smasher. While we already saw Adam Smasher, this is Adam Smasher Grande, featuring similar prints for his chest and head, while capturing some of the less fine details in brick-built form. The figure also takes on a style of Giant Man from the Civil War airport battle. This whole set kind of does, to be honest, and overall, this build is one I'm very proud of. Hawkman is included to show scale. The boots are also metallic silver, as they are on the minifigure. Overall, very proud of this figure, and let's move on to the last build. Last but not least, we have the Hawk Cruiser. Very, very interesting ship, in the sense that there is no reference for it. This ship is silver and gold, a color scheme you don't typically see. However, what you have probably seen before is what the set is based off of. The Civil War Quinjet. I did this to capture the relative shape of the vehicle while still wanting to change a lot of it. The cockpit is entirely changed, with space for one minifigure inside, being Adam Smasher, as well as a small control panel for him. Going to the back of the ship, we can see more changes in shaping, with wings being added to the top and bottom, as well as the engine. For as distinct a design as the engine is, I'm very happy with how this small build turned out. The wings are exactly the same as the Quinjet, though. The change is that the shaping is slightly different at the front. While the ship doesn't have stud shooters, it has its own play feature. In the trailer, we see Cyclone hop out of the vehicle midair, and I wanted to recreate that. Looking at the little knob up top, we can see it looks a bit conspicuous. That's because if you turn it upside down, you can see a bay to drop figures out of. In this instance, Cyclone. Once the pusher is pressed, Cyclone drops out and is ready for battle. I always love seeing this feature in sets, hence its inclusion in my She-Hulk video, which you should go watch, and definitely held up. There are no inaccuracies in that set whatsoever. Anyways, that's all for the build. Let's move on to the packaging and final notes. The packaging is very similar to the sets of the Batman, as there aren't a lot of DC sets nowadays to use as reference. Criminal shame. I think a Black Adam set would have been really cool. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Anyway, that's all for this week's vid. Thank you all for 3 years, 500 subs, and almost 4K followers. Your support means the world to me, and I promise I'll be uploading a little more consistently from here on out. Speaking of consistency, next week will be the return of my Hell of a Boss sets. They really do upload more than I do, don't they? Anyways, seeing as there's a new episode, I think what better time to make a set than now. Anyways, that's all for this week's video. Go see Black Adam in theaters and have a great day.
Kissing all by yourself?